I'll get in heart. I know.
It's a precious commodity that every one of us takes for granted. Time is something we never truly appreciate.
Bro, I didn't click on this video thinking I will be depressed. What are you doing?
Until it's already gone. Time is a really cheesy way to start off this video. I'm sorry.
It is.
I know like 10% of you are on the toilet right now just looking for a way to pass time while you poop. And another 20% of you are probably having lunch when I said that line. Frieren is one of the most popular anime currently airing and is on most people's shortlist for one of the best shows that started airing last year.
It is so good. Everybody should watch it. It's so good. It's so good.
The story of a functionally immortal elf girl who truly regretted the time she didn't cherish with the people she was with and has to come to terms with what the passage of time means for her. And it's this emotional crux
Frieren is
that
depressing as fuck. You find Frieren to be depressing? I find Frieren to be very like, I don't know. I don't find it to be depressing at all. I find it to be like a journey. It feels like you're in a different, like, you're going through something. It does make you think a little bit about like the people around you and stuff like that. But I don't find it to be that depressing. I feel like it's very, I don't know, make you realize a couple of things. It's just, it feels like an absolute groundbreaking like journey that you go through, like it would be Lord of the Rings. You're just going through these memories and these different areas. This absolute adventure. It's great. I love Frieren.
I've seen talking about the show hones in on.
Even though someone like her possesses more time than any of us will ever come close to having, it can pass her by just as quickly if she's not careful about it.
Myself maybe included. But as the series has gone on and I've gotten to experience more of the story, past even what I had initially read in the manga, I really think this just scratches the surface of what Frieren has to offer and the tale it is evolving into. That alone would not have been enough to keep its throne as the top-rated anime of all time for so long. That alone would not have been enough to start its own cultural phenomenon here in Japan. That alone would not have taken one of the most poignant, emotional series to come out in years and had every single aspect of it looted by so many goddamn talented fan artists. Had every single aspect of it
Wait a
looted by
minute.
so
My God. I'm gonna be real. I think Frieren is like one of the animes that are least sexual. I don't think there's any sexual shit in Frieren at all. I think they all, it's like, that's a nice thing. And that's what I kind of like as well. There was nothing sexual going on. And it's just about adventure and what's going on. But dude, the fan base, Jesus
goddamn
Christ.
talented fan artists. Jesus Christ.
My God, what the fuck? And the thing is that this doesn't even look like Frieren at this point. Like, this is something different. Brother in Christ. People gotta go see Jesus, man. It's time for Jesus to come back. Jesus, you gotta return. We're getting a little bit down bad.
Emotional show. That was not a complaint. I don't think I fully did the series justice in the video I made 2 years ago, so I wanted to revisit Frieren because now that the anime is coming to an end, I've seen it evolve from a series with a unique concept.
I am surprised he didn't put this on his like 2023 list as number 1. That he put this as number 2. Now again, I couldn't watch Vinland Saga. I just couldn't watch it. So I don't know how good Vinland Saga season 2 is, but Frieren is an amazing show that I personally, I feel like there's not many shows that really gives off the same vibe that they do. I think it's it's a piece of art. It's absolutely a piece of art.
And a hard-hitting beginning to an all-around masterclass in the fantasy genre that seems to be doing just about everything. A proper old-school fantasy adventure, lessons that hit deep, emotional moments, romance, the bloody tuning exams. This show is doing it all, tying it all back to that one thing: time. Because it is time
feelings
to
and
talk
pussy
about
shit.
today. Coming into the Frieren anime, I already knew how hard the beginning episodes were going to hit from my experience with the manga. It gave us an interesting perspective of how time moves through the eyes of a long life being and hit like a truck looking for its next isekai protagonist. But the big, humongous Frieren burger-sized question mark was, where do we go from here? Having the story start at the end of another story is a cool idea, but how do you make that interesting in the long run? I've seen plenty of series that have presented this really cool concept, said what it needed to in the opening episodes, and then failed to capture the emotional peak
thank you for 28 years.
which caused me to make sweeping statements like, I don't think it's the best show
Need my emails back. Thank you, dude. Thank you for the T1 stuff. How you doing, Connor?
I don't even think it's the best show of the year. I would argue that it might not even be the best show of the season.
a long-term
What did he say?
I don't
capture the emotional peak we saw at the beginning, which caused me to make sweeping statements like,
I don't think it's the best show of all time. No. I don't even think it's the best show of the year.
There is no way he said that about Frieren. God damn.
It might not even be the best show of the season.
Now, long-term viewers of this channel will know that
I think Frieren, so I came back to, when did I come back to anime? End of 2022. I had like a long break of anime. I think Frieren is the best anime I've seen. Beside, like, I don't want to include the Bleach, like the new season of Bleach, because I'm like, you know, I started watching Bleach whenever it came out. Like, it's too nostalgic and the side things are cool. But like, as a new anime thing that I got into, I think Frieren is probably the best one. I think is the best one. Like, maybe not the best visually. I think Demon Slayer is like best visually still, but I think Frieren is like the best fucking one out of all the things I've seen. Like, it's so good. It's so good.
I am never wrong.
You're doing all right? How's WoW doing, Connor? How are you enjoying
So
WoW?
let's break down just how wrong I was. Frieren's opening was so strong that it had the Vinland Saga effect on me, where the prologue was so good in its own bubble, I forgot that was what it was meant to be. A prologue. A story that gives us the
7 times,
for the
dude.
real oversized meat plate of the story to come. What the fuck is up with all these characters eating comically large portions of food? But the question remains, where do you take a story that takes place in a world where the main story has already ended? There's this one masterclass where Aaron Sorkin, the writer of A Few Good Men, Social Network, West Wing, talks about...
I hate Cataclysm.
Tension and obstacle.
Characters need an intention, a goal they have to achieve that can't just be a small want, but a strong need. We need to defeat the Demon Lord or the world will end. I need to invent the nuclear bomb or the Soviets will do it first and the world will end. I need to find a girlfriend before the year ends or I won't have anyone to go to prom with. And the world will end. The stronger the need for this intention, the better. And to counteract that, you have the obstacle, the thing that prevents the character from achieving.
I think that's what's nice about Frieren is that that's not the case. Like, you're just going on an adventure. You're just going through things. And you don't have these, like, that many goals. I mean, there is a goal coming in later on, but it's not really that big of a deal, you know? It's just like one thing they're focusing on.
Need to. An impossibly powerful final villain. A time limit to build something
Their
that's
One
never been
Piece
built
is
before.
real.
A man that
I've
has
seen
infinitely negative
Whitebeard's,
risks.
you know,
The harder
One
that
Piece.
obstacle
True, it
to
is
overcome,
real.
the more compelling that journey will be. Break down a lot of TV series and movies to its basic core components and you'll probably see this framework in action. Watching Frieren made me realize that barely any of this applies to her journey. She has a vague intention, retracing her old steps to reach this mythical place that may or may not exist so she can say goodbye to her old party. But it's not something she needs to do.
No.
The world's not going to end if she doesn't, and she can still go about her life if she fails. There are some obstacles. A snowstorm that stops their travel for a month. A qualification she doesn't have in order to pass to a new area. But it's never something you think she can't overcome. And what that means is that instead of obstacles on the journey, you have stops. A lot of stops. It's not even a journey anymore.
And that's the thing. I talked about this recently on my Discord, and if you haven't joined my Discord, you should join my Discord. So I talked about this recently on my Discord. Frieren is 28 episodes. Like, the first season is 28 episodes. I think that animes that don't come out with 24 to 28 episodes nowadays on season 1 don't have enough breathing room to really allow the anime to really blossom up. You don't have enough room to really get attached to the story or kind of like understand or get in depth into the world and the whole creation of just generally the whole vibe of the world. But Frieren has so much breathing room that it can let you loosen in slowly and slowly. And because of that, it just is great. Like, it doesn't feel rushed. It feels like you're going on a journey throughout the whole thing. And it's not about going there, do this, that. It's not about these action-filled moments always zapping you through from episode to episode. It's like taking it on from multiple it just takes you through so many scenarios and things you wouldn't expect, and you have those moments of good life journey while you have all of these wild fantasy tropes going around left and right, and it just feels good. it gives you the vibe of like whenever you watch Lord of the Rings for the first time and you see like the hobbits, you see Gandalf, you see the party expanding and they start like climbing the mountains and all of these like small things going on. And it's like, that's what Frieren is. It's like it starts up with just her party and then it dissolves and then she like forms another party while like, I don't want to spoil things, but like while she meets her old party members. And it's like all of these objectives aren't really necessary, but they are a part of the story that gives you not even a reasoning, but it gives you like some form of like thing going on. And I think that if the pacing was rushed more, if the pacing was 12 episodes or 14 episodes, the show wouldn't have enough breathing room to really allow you to get into like the vibe they're trying to translate to people. And I think that's sad. Like I see Solo Leveling. Solo Leveling is only 12 episodes. And I remember Chainsaw Man. I couldn't really get properly into Chainsaw Man because there's just like 12 episodes. Man, it's not enough. But Jujutsu Kaisen, like the first season of Jujutsu Kaisen really gave you that chance to get into it because it had like 24 episodes. And I heard that was a big reason also for the success of Jujutsu Kaisen in Japan and the downfall of like Chainsaw Man is that not a lot of people, like there was just not enough advertising, not enough episodes. They tried to put too much budget in having like different intros in every episode. Just not enough, right?
If you've ever watched a show and felt like the pacing was off or what you're watching feels
I'm
like,
not going to spoil anything.
Filler. Most of the time it's probably because the series has spent too much time on a detour that deals with a certain obstacle or something and not progressing towards that final intentional goal. But by admitting any goal that feels immediately urgent, Frieren makes it all about those detours. Some episodes can feel like they can
exactly. It makes it about all those detours, and that's the thing. Like this is just a long journey, and that's nice. What the beauty of like anime, cinematic view, like movie series, what a beauty about them is to transform you into a different world. And I don't think many movies like lets you do that. I don't think many animes or series like really transport you to a different world and let you experience them. Frieren does it in that way. It lets you like experience the journey and it feels great. It makes you feel a different way that not many shows do. And that's why I fucking preach it and say you should watch Frieren.
And some feel like they can take 5 minutes. And I mean this in the best of way because it always engages you in a different way. You never question whether you're spending too much or too little time
Frieren
in
is
a
an
certain
experience,
place
yeah.
or a certain side story, and it allows you to just get fully absorbed in the moment.
It's
and it's in the moment.
And the music is so
the show
good.
wants to keep you. This show is...
I have stopped the episode and gone back just to listen to the music. The music in Frieren is also really good. Like they have done such a good job with the music. Himmel episode, it's sad.
All about living in the present,
Goodbye,
appreciating
King.
the time as it is now instead of regretting the past or being blinded by the future. And what drives this message home so strongly is the characters. Frieren's whole spiel is that she's this long-living elf that doesn't really care about what's going on because whatever happens will have a minuscule effect on her overall life, but strip that all away and you just have a girl that is disconnected from the world around her. The way she acts is reminiscent to the character trope I probably despise the most in anime. The kudere. You've seen the ones. It's the characters that
Oh,
talk
those are
like
so
this.
boring.
Hello, what are feelings?
Oh, I completely agree. I never thought about it. Yeah. I agree. These are the most boring ass like anime character ever because they are like designed to have no personality or soul. But Frieren doesn't really have, it's not the fact that she doesn't really have no personality or soul. It's the fact that she doesn't really know better. She hasn't learned it and she's kind of trying to learn things and she changes throughout the episodes like a little bit more and more. And that's like the whole point of the show in a sort of way as well.
These are confusing to me because I have the personality of wet cement. I'm sure there are a lot of you out there that can relate in some way of having a calm...
Also, like, she's not really that as well. She smiles, she laughs, she makes jokes. She's not like completely a blank sheet.
personality that gets perceived as being stoic, but all too often, instead of feeling like a human, these characters feel like an android devoid of all emotions. Fuck, a lot of kudereis are literally androids devoid of all emotions. And as someone who's introverted and is perceived by a lot of my friends as someone who stays calm.
Wait, so
What? What?
I would never say that about you, but
I
okay.
can attach to with these characters. The difference with Frieren is that she clearly has emotions. She gets happy, annoyed, sad, and regretful
does.
in her own way. She's not emotionless, she's just emotionally distant, which makes absolute sense for the
Very
lifespan
calm
she
as
has.
well.
It's not about her learning what emotions are and feeling things for the first time. It's about her learning why it's important to value those moments when you do, and being more mindful about the emotions the people around you have.
Exactly.
And you don't need to be some immortal elf god to be able to relate to that. One of the early scenes
She's
that
becoming more aware. She's understanding how people behave. Like not a bit how people behave. She kind of understands more like just how people feel.
hit me was when Frieren had a flashback of a party.
And you know what's fucked up? You know what's real fucked up? A lot of people have no idea how to read a room nowadays. Like a lot of people are like Frieren because they don't interact enough with people. They sit in front of their PCs all the time. They don't like do anything. And definitely the younger generation nowadays don't really like meet enough of people. So like a lot of people are just not socially aware enough. People, yeah.
Devastated they'd missed this sunrise, and she's like, why the hell do you all care? It's just a bloody sunrise. But then decades later, she has the opportunity to experience that same sunrise with Fern, who miraculously
Relatable character.
somehow was able to drag her out of bed to see what all the hubbub was about. And then they do, and it's beautiful. And Frieren's still like, yeah, it's just a fucking sunrise, isn't it? But then she finds herself enjoying the experience. Not because she suddenly got some newfound appreciation of this sunrise, but because she got to share the moment with the people around her that do. And oh, god damn if this isn't so real. The amount of times I've gone and done something I never would have myself because I've had some mates fucking drag me out when I'd rather be doing nothing but staying inside playing some dumbass video games. And
Fucking same.
fucking drag me out.
I feel like you can use this scene just for so many scenarios. This is just depicted so well. Your fucking emotion.
When I'd rather be doing nothing but staying inside playing some dumbass video games. And then it turns out that it's these moments that we still talk about and remember fondly when we hang out. Hey, remember that time when we decided to go camping and there was a thunderstorm and it was wet and everyone was fucking miserable, and then Russell ripped the fattest fucking fart of his life that overpowered the sound of the thunder, and I swear to God reverberated the entire bloody tent? That was some cool memory shit right there. But beyond Frieren, you also have Fern
You still
and Star,
remember the smell.
two people who are not impossibly old like Frieren is, but still have their own troubles dealing with human emotions for the opposite reason. Because they're the fucking Zoomers of the world, or whatever that equivalent is. You can tell they lack emotional maturity in dealing with other people. Like, for example, instead of communicating her anger and frustrations in a healthy way, Fern just bottles it all up and leaves everyone else to figure out what's bothering her, which she expresses in the most adorable bloody pout face possible. All right, I'm just saying, if I was there, I'd definitely make the situation 10 times worse, because I just want to look at her puffy little cheeks and go, booga, 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 is someone mad today? Yeah, maybe I'm even less mature than they are. But it's in that process of emotionally maturing that we get one of the best romance subplots I've seen in a very long time. I did not get into this type of show for any kind of romance, nor did I expect it to have one, as much as the fan was telling me otherwise, and I just want to gush about it a bit. When I see romance in anime, especially if it's some kind of romance subplot.
I am still mad that Ichigo doesn't like marry Rukia at the end of it. The fact that he's marrying Orihime is a crime. I mean, like, come on, man. Come on.
Wider story, I often feel like it was just an afterthought, and a lot of times can feel really clunky and inorganic. Characters will go about their business for like dozens of episodes with no indication there's any romantic feelings, sometimes having negative chemistry, for the series to suddenly sprinkle in this random scene that the
I need
girl
to finish
realizes
this
she
anime
has
at some
feelings for
point.
the protagonist, and it doesn't seem like that friendship
so
kind of
long.
feeling, but the feeling she might just want him to canoodle that poodle, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there being like, all right, I guess it makes sense. It's reasons like this that a fan base can have
Yeah,
debates
but
and
like he
arguments
gone
on
through
who
all
they
the
ship with
whole
who,
thing
what
with
two
the
people they
Rukia,
want to end
man.
up together. Because in reality,
He
any of
awakened
these
something
couples
else in them.
could work because the story has not done the groundwork to properly set any of them.
Sakura is like my... I'm gonna be real. I hate Sakura. I think she... I don't want to... Like... She's like my least liked character in any anime or any fiction. I hate her so much. She ruined Naruto so much. In my opinion, I absolutely hate that woman. And this comes from a guy that loves the color pink on characters. Like, I usually fanboy over every girl or dude with pink hair. Look at my goddamn anime model. I have pink eyes and pink hair. But she's like the absolute fucking worst. I hate her.
But Frieren manages
So
to
annoying.
weave this blossoming relationship into its storyline that feels so natural.
Have you not
Right from
seen
the
Ruka's last fight? Dude, she's so cool. Dude, I love her,
I mean, you
Bunkai.
can see that there
He's
are no
sick.
mutual feelings. In fact, the two
Probably the
struggle with
prettiest
understanding
animation
each
ever
other
made, like
while
one of
they are
them. It's so
adventuring.
good.
But as they spend more time together,
Woman
you
Enjoyer,
can see them
100%.
slowly but surely start to understand, accept their small quirks, get comfortable around the other person, and most importantly, actually have banter and some chemistry with one another. Like everything else it does, the series actually takes its time to lay the
It
crumbs
feels like a good life / fantasy series, and that's the thing.
down and let you see their relationship develop, leading to this dance scene that had me screaming like a 15-year-old girl who's about to publish her first Wattpad fanfiction. Through
Wow.
nothing but pure
I
visual
didn't scream at that.
storytelling
I
and
thought it was nice,
micro-expressions,
though.
you can see the exact moment Fern's view towards Stark shifts from a companion to a crush. The way her facial expression changes from nervousness to comfort to finally happiness. You don't need 2 pages of internal dialogue to spell out exactly
So you
what
were a
she was
spoiler?
feeling.
It's not really
This is
big
the kind of
deal.
shit you normally only get to see conveyed.
You don't
in
know
a
why
live-action
they're
film
doing this.
with real actors, and it's executed so goddamn beautifully.
Not
No
really
matter
that
what
big a deal,
Frieren
trust me.
tries, this show just does not seem to miss. Did I mention how hard the series goes in its action?
It's so good. It's so good, dude. The fighting scenes are so good.
This is a series that doesn't even need good action. Right now, we're going
Yeah.
through a bloody tune-in exam arc, and when that got introduced, I was like, huh. Is that the right vibe to go for here? And yet, even in this action-intensive arc, it never feels like it forgets its identity, even with all these new characters being added.
I'm gonna
it
be
feels-
honest. I think this arc is good, but I would prefer that it was less. I think it's very, very good, but it kind of shifts away from. I think the ending shifts kind of away from what the anime is depicted as, like from this good life, like fantasy journey. I don't like that they've been stuck at this objective for so long. It's starting to feel like the typical anime at the point, but it's still really good.
feels like they all have something distinctive to say that ties back to the
But
learning
it's really cool
experience
as,
our
like,
party is
action
going
scenes.
through. There is so much more I could talk about. The world building, the magic system, Evan Cole's godly soundtrack, the absolute coldest moment we got
sound
to
is
see
so
last
good.
year. But what I want to end this on is
Brother,
godly
this
soundtrack, the
this
absolute
scene here,
coldest moment
this scene here was brutal. I replayed that 5 times. That was so brutal. I fucking love that. Whenever it's like animes, like, you know, like just switches up and go like brutal. Low tier god moment, 100%. No Baki.
we got to see last year. But what I want
What
to
do you
end
mean,
this on
Baki?
is Himmel, who is aptly named. Because he is just him. Even though his character essentially only exists in flashbacks outside of the beginning, you can feel his influence in every action that Frieren takes, every lesson she learns, every time she grows as a character. And I think what makes him such a great character is that he just feels like a dude. Himmel epitomizes what a true hero should be. Not because he saved the world or defeated the Demon Lord, he's just a guy who tries his best to leave a positive influence wherever he goes. He's the friend we all want, the role model we want to be. He's
the
charming,
hero.
he's charismatic. He is the embodiment of everything the story tries to remind you of. I don't think it's a coincidence. This story has hit so hard for so many of us and become the mega hit that it has. This came out in a time when I don't think we've ever been more connected, yet distant to the people around us. We're so overstimulated day to day, constantly being barraged with informations and things you should care about. It sometimes feels like you don't want to care about anything, or at least you're exhausted about doing
Avatar
so.
will
So
grow
seeing
in beard.
someone as emotionally distant
I
as
watched like
Frieren,
half of the
learning
first
to
episode
appreciate
of
and
Baki.
understand the people around
Might
her
get a
is
little
such
bit
a
into it.
powerful
I'll see.
reminder of what we should be valuing in our own lives. Frieren doesn't preach anything we don't already know. It's about the journey, not the destination. You shouldn't take for granted the time you're given. We've heard these so many times in our lives that they can turn into
07 King.
cliches in our head and
07.
forget how true and valuable these lessons are.
Dude, the music is so good.
Hey guys, hope you enjoyed that video. Thank you very much this month to Author Curtis Eckstein, Basil, Dysfunctional Degenerate, Flabberwocky, Jonathan Thick,
Is that Basil who I said? Which is that the Basil I think it is?
Hatchet, Pony Stark, Shouting
Or
Zombie,
maybe I'll watch
Watergeist
someday. I
VT, and
highly
everyone else on
recommend
my
it.
Patreon for
It's
helping
one of the
support
best
this month.
animes
You know,
ever
I
created.
wasn't planning on making another Frieren video, but god damn,
It's worth
man.
it.
This series just keeps getting
It's
better
so
and
good.
better, and I'm excited.
I'm gonna watch the 28th episode of Frieren, and I'm gonna instantly read the manga or the light novel. I don't know what they have, but I'm gonna read whatever it is because I want to know. And I don't say that about many series, but it's so good. I can't wait a couple of years for them to make a season 2. I kind of want to know like how it goes. I kind of want to get into the world a little bit more. So I wish that series would just keep on uploading every week because it's so nice.
And hoping that there is going to be a season
Frieren's
2
already
announcement
timeless
on the
classic
horizon,
already.
and
Yeah, it
season
is.
2 is going to go just as hard as season 1 is going right now. But in general, we are just getting spoiled in terms of fantasy anime this year, man.
We
this
are?
is the year where anime elves are making a comeback, baby. Anyway, though, that's it from me today. No further updates.
Yeah, I think that was good. I mean, I recommend anybody to watch Frieren. I wouldn't say, I don't know, like there's a lot of fancy tropes coming out, but I want to say like a lot of it is good. I want to say a lot of it is good, but yeah, some things are pretty cool. Some things are pretty cool. Anyways, that was a good video. I highly recommend anyone watching Frieren. It's a pretty fucking good show. It's just so good. It just makes you feel good. If you want to feel good, you better play it. Hi, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like the video and subscribe. I'll post videos nearly every day, so if you want to watch any more reactions, feel free to subscribe and I'll see you there.